Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today it's raining cats and dogs outside, and so there's no better time to sit back, wrap ourselves in a blanket, and watch DogAO playing as the red Poles take on ACCM playing as the blue Italians. Now, while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Poles are very much a Civ that focuses on their cavalry. If you're in the mood for something a little lighter, Scout cavalry line units do get a small attack bonus against archers and can be upgraded to do trample damage, which can be very useful in the late game since Poles are one of the only two civs in the game to have their hussars replaced with winged hussars, which are already tankier and stronger than hussars and come with an attack bonus against gunpowder units and an even bigger attack bonus against monks. Now, if you're in the mood for something a little heavier, Polish knights and cavaliers can be upgraded to cost 60% less gold, so it becomes much easier to spam these units starting in Castle Age. Now, on the field of battle, to back up their cavalry units, the Poles can rely on their unique unit, the Obuch. This is a tanky, well-armored infantry unit whose attack actually reduces the melee and pierce armor of its opponents with each single swipe of its massive warhammer. Now, to support its military-industrial complex, Pole stone miners also generate gold. Their farmers have access to a unique structure called the Folwark, which we'll take a look at in I'm hoping, a minute or two, which replaces the mill and automatically adds 8% of the value of a farm seated within its radius to your coffers, and also, by the way, provides 5 population space. Now, Pole villagers themselves are harder to raid because, like Viking berserkers, they do regenerate their HP starting at the beginning of the game, 5 HP per minute in Dark Age, all the way up to 20 HP per minute in Imperial. Now, opposing DogAO, we've got ACCM as the Italians, a cost-cutting civilization. Their university technologies are cheaper, advancing to the next age is cheaper, and gunpowder units are, you guessed it, cheaper. Now, using all these saved resources, the Italians can field 2 unique units. The first is the Genoese crossbowman, an overall decent foot archer with a good attack bonus against cavalry, and the second is their condottiero. This is a quick-moving, tanky infantry unit with not only a massive attack bonus against gunpowder units, but also added bonus armor against gunpowder units. Now, to make these units even tankier on the field of battle, all Italian foot archers, except for skirmishers, and their condottieri can be upgraded to get extra armor. Starting in Imperial, by the way, you can start training your condottieri out of the barracks. Think of them as the Goths with the Huscarls, except that unlike the Goths, you do not have to research anarchy or any tech at all. The second the Italians hit Imperial Age, the barracks can start producing the condottieri. Now let's take a look. As you see, when you click on a Folwark, a nice 4-tile radius opens up. Again, any farm seated in this radius immediately adds 8% of it to the coffers of our red Pole. So that's the Civ matchup today. Potentially a very interesting one because, again, the Poles, very cavalry-centric. The Italians, though, have an ace up their sleeve, being the Genoese crossbow that comes, I believe, the base model with a 5 attack bonus against against cavalry units. So potentially, our Pole may want to diversify the type of military that he throws at the Italian, assuming the Italian can get up enough castles and start pumping out Genoese crossbows. One of the often overlooked, I guess, considerations or issues when it comes to unique units that counter things. So I'm talking about Kamayuks, for example, that also counter cavalry. I'm talking about the Genoese crossbows. Unlike units from standard buildings, you need castles to build those units. And unlike standard buildings that cost anywhere, if you got that cumin bonus to a regular generic structure, 100 to 175 wood, castles are obviously much more rare. And so when you can use counter units from a generic military building compared to a castle, always good. So again, I'm expecting with players with these incredibly high elos, by the way, very similar elos, but very high elos. And I mean, these players need no introduction, especially not for me. They are well known in the community. They are amazing players. I'm expecting some fun clashes between them. But if ACCM does go Genoese crossbows, I'm very curious to see how DogAO pivots and adjusts and I guess takes takes care of that Genoese crossbowman. In the meantime, both players heading up to Feudal at literally the exact same time, about, what, a millisecond apart. By the time my eyes go from left to right side of the screen, the countdown remains identical. Both on the back of 19 villagers as opposed to the usual 20. Let's take a look at scouting quickly before they reach Feudal. ACCM has scouted, has seen his opponent, knows exactly where DogAO is. DogAO, exactly the same thing. Where is his scout, by the way? It is back home, ready, able, and willing to take on these 3 militias who in 25 seconds are going to be men-at-arms. But DogAO already knows he's facing a very aggressive player in ACCM, so has walled off his berry bushes. We'll see if he walls off this wood line here or instead just relies on villagers. Okay, has walled it off, but not completely, though. So if ACCM wants to engage into this, he'll either have to go through the town center or pivot north, which is he's doing. But pivoting north means that DogAO has a lot more time to prepare and shore up some defensive structures here, some palisades, some houses. DogAO doing an amazing job, by the way, keeping an eye on all of these units. And look, immediately, I need to close this part off. Oh, sour here by our red Pole, who will end up losing this one villager probably. But I was a literal, oh my god, he not only does he not lose the villager, but he takes out a scout cavalry of his opponent. Fortuitous change of events here for DogAO. It really did look like he was about to lose that villager. Instead, completely one-ups his opponent and kills that scout. Is ACCM rebuilding the scout? No, a skirmisher, an archer, and the original men-at-arms. Let's zoom out. The players of, we'll call this a tentative disengage for now. Although let's see if the archers chase here. Should be able to catch up pretty quickly with these men-at-arms. Oh, I think he can fire on them. Should have 4 range, no? Yeah, he does have 4 range. So he is he's firing on the middle one, knowing that he can always catch the straggler. Not the best path to go down, I think, for ACCM down this narrow little sandbank. Does mean his units potentially clump up. But now let's take a quick look at our bases, see what we're working with. Archery range went down close to the town center. Blacksmith going up as part of a wall off. Okay. And ACCM, archery range, blacksmith. One thing I forgot to do, or I guess I didn't do because we were discussing unique units and such. Let's take a look at their bases. ACCM has already walled off the western portion of his base. Primary gold, nice and secure in the back. Stone in the front, though. So for a unit, for a civ that is going to need to go Genoese crossbows, potentially. I mean, I have no clue what direction they're going to go, but if he goes Genoese crossbows, he's going to want that stone nice and secure and in full control of it. His secondary stone pile also very far off campus. Looks like these skirmishers did manage to catch an archer. I highly doubt it was this one man-at-arms with literally 1 HP. He gets gunned down. Let's take a look at DogAO's base. Primary gold a little off to the side, but exposed here. Close to the town center, so any kind of attack, he can run away quickly. And his primary stone much closer and much more secure than ACCM's, which forms part of his wall off here. Another full work going up for our Pole. I mean, he had some space here for farms, I guess, but diversify, no one area of attack. This is very forward facing. We'll see what these 3 range units can do here now that there's a scout coming in. Good amount of HP on him. We'll be able to distract these units while the skirmishers catch up, which is a fantastic play out of DogAO. And now that the skirmishers are caught up, he's free to disengage, especially since this guy has 4 HP. Not exactly hail is that one scout. Okay. Archer's moving south. In terms of wall-offs, I mean, I guess it's a little bit too late to comment on who's in a better position because the players have already created their wall-offs. DogAO taking a very distant wall-off approach. Nice house here, but the south completely exposed. ACCM doing a nice crescent-shaped wall-off here, using that stone as a natural part of the defense. So good to use the stone as a natural part of the defense. Nothing can destroy this, but also means that your stone is unmineable, at least if your opponent has ranged units to the left of there. For now, though, the player's happy to engage in some low low intensity battles here, and now a scout comes out. These skirmishers have to run the hell away. Two of them are basically dead. This one scout doing not much, I guess. What is he exploring? The areas of that area of the map's already been explored. Let's take a look at the villager count. Identical for the players. Military count basically identical. Army composition here, I favor DogAO, I guess. 5 skirmishers, 5 archers against 9 archers, 2 skirmishers. And so if he can position his skirmishers properly, should be able to rip these archers to shreds. Upgrades, +1 attack upgrade for both players. They disengage. Let's take a look at the resources. Is anyone banking anything at the moment? Take a look at DogAO. 750 food, 150 gold, literally 100 resources from being able to click up to castle. Our blue Italian, a little bit behind. Remember, the Italians, the cost of going up is 15% cheaper, so they do not need 800 food, 200 gold. They need that minus 15%. Random wolf guarding a relic here. Uh-oh. Oh, entering his territory is absolutely bonkers. Look at him chasing to catch up. Blue deciding this is the moment he wants to put on aggression. I guess he saw his opponent's score go down once he clicked up to castle, but good response time by DogAO. And like I said, diversify your resource gathering. So 2 full works mean that 1 entire farming community can keep working. 2 lumberjack lines mean the exact same thing. So if you're expecting your opponent to put on aggression at any stage of the game, do not clump. Do not clump. Blue has to be careful here, though. These archers could potentially wreak havoc on these scouts. Okay, for now, ACCM not really getting much done. DogAO very ballsy to send his villagers back to work. Oh, the scouts do catch it. Looks like 3 skirmishers. Sour loss here. Kill count now very much in favor of our Italian, who a second ago, literally had the exact same kill count. Oh, they enter town center fire. Take a bunch of arrows. Town center gets its 2nd kill of the game. And now our red pole is in castle. 1 minute and 40 seconds behind is our blue Italian, though. Our pole, no extra villagers, or no villagers, period, on stone. 4 knights, though, on the way. No Schlachter just yet, so these are full cost knights. Very, yeah, this game is a very interesting matchup. You've got, again, the poles with their... I guess that you want to call it their main focused unit. You know, the Knights, the Cavaliers being 60% cheaper, and the Italians just having all those discounted units. We'll see. We'll see if our Italian goes cheaper gunpowder units, and if that forces out winged hussars out of our pole. A lot of different directions this game can go. One direction that ACCM is going is into this Death Nook, where he can slowly attack these knights, but will eventually lose them. Archers from the Feudal Age, not exactly not exactly knight killers, let's put it like that. Now he pounces on the last archer in the region and moves forward with 6 knights bloodline on the way. At this moment, he decides heavy plow is the way I want to go. Get my food count up, start getting more and more of these knights out. 2nd town center for him, 2nd town center for DogAO as well. But he has to come here a little quicker. Okay. Building a monastery. Beautiful move here out of ACCM. Not only does he plug up the hole, shore up the defenses, but also can start producing the counter unit to these slow trotting knights. By the way, he's got knights of his own. Attack upgrades +1/+1. Our pole 0/+1, and a few spearmen here from the Dark Ages, or I mean, I didn't mean that in the game sense. I meant just a long time ago. The guy with a 3rd town center going up as well, and our pole is making an issue over here. How is there already a villager here? He must have been here from before. There's no way he managed to get that villager from the town center here that quickly. Disengages. I think he was probably looking to see if the forest extended all the way to Terra Incognita here. It does. And now a third town center going up for our Italian as well. What are you building in the back here? Another full work. Always, I mean, I shouldn't be confused, but this is the blacksmith upgrade, the blacksmith image, right? Right? This isn't the full work image. So every time I see that, my brain just immediately goes, oh, another blacksmith? But nope, it is a full work, and nope, you are not, your eyes are not deceiving you. These are 6 Italian knights with +1/+1 moving in. One should get converted, right? No, they get the monk before. Oh, there's another monk here. He just dropped off the relic. You know his legs are tired. He's not going to be able to run away too fast, but beautiful move by DogAo to move him into the town center radius so that he can escape. At the same time, DogAo putting on, I mean, we'll call it pressure for lack of better words. He's not really getting anything accomplished here. ACCM, on the other hand, has 3 kills with these knights, and now a monk does manage to convert one of ACCM's units, although does pay the price and loses the relic, which he looked like he was carrying. What are you guys? You are a house. Okay, so knight count 10-5 in favor of our red pole. But remember, these are full cost knights. 8 villagers on stone. DogAo really wants to get a castle, and instead of wants, we should say needs. He's got to research that Schlachter. Look at this beautiful move by ACCM to heal his knights. What are these 2 archers doing? I mean, good for him, I guess, that he's got these archers left over from Feudal. But the army supply is misleading. 2 of this 12 is these 2 archers. Any kills on these 2? No kills at all, as opposed to our pole, who is now getting light cav. Still has this one skirmisher. Is he exploring the map, or has he already been seen? Okay, so he's just on patrol move, if I had to guess. And DogAo has to disengage 2. 3 monks might change the dynamic here. It would go from 10-7, and these would go from 6-9. And so if he gets 3 converts, it completely changes what happens militarily. Plus, these guys, take a look at their HP. They're down to over 300 HP. Villager count very, very similar at the moment, both on the back of 3 town centers. No, that's not a blacksmith. It is a full work. Beautiful location for an outpost, by the way. DogAo moving forward. He's got 620 stone. We'll see if he decides to build a castle out here, or if this is just a basic scout attempt. Continuing to build houses here. Wood pile for both the players is quite low. Villager production 73 for our Pole, 81 for our Italian. Both on the back of 3 town centers. Castle number 1 going to ACCM, King of the Hill Castle. Beautiful location. Secures the entire northern portion of the map for him. Rather, the entire northern part of his base. Counter castle going up. Did he see the castle here? He did not. Good game sense out of our red pole. Maybe would have loved to see a castle on this hill to capture some of this attack ground, but you know, I say that with a caster's god's eye view. So, oh no, does lose 2. Does lose 2 knights to converts, but now DogAo being the one pushing conversions. It looked for a second like ACCM, who by the way lost all of his monks here. Terrible loss. Was trying to convert one of the light calves. I don't know if that was a misclick or if he just tried to do that so it wouldn't attack his monks. But it ended up attacking his monks nonetheless. Look at the vision for our red pole. Wow. He sees everything to the southern portion of this map. Plus, he's also now seen the castle. Relics 4-1 for red. While we weren't looking, he slowly, I mean, we saw the relics that were being dropped off here earlier, but he's collected 4-1. No more relics out on the map. A little bit of a night war here. 1+1 versus 0+1, but take a look. Our red pole first to head up to Imperial. We'll see what he can do with that time advantage. Our Italian needs a few more resources. Maybe in the next minute or so, he will have them. And again, 11 knights attacking 6. Oh, the light cav have broken through. This is what I've mentioned a lot of times. Once you reach a certain number of villagers, 100 plus, 120 plus, it becomes almost impossible to babysit them and almost impossible to micro them compared to, you know, the beginning of the game when you start with your small little settlement and you can individually micro each villager. And when you have them jack and lumber here, and you're not paying attention, it does expose them. Here we go. Absolute boss of a unit, by the way. I think it's a +5 attack, +5 against cavalry. 11 of these out on the field of battle, and now blue is going up to Imperial as well. Does have a second castle. Like I said, if you're going to go unique unit, one that can't be trained out of a generic military structure, and by that I mean a barracks, you know, like a Huskarl, for example, or a archery range like the Slinger from the Incas, or a stable, then you need castles. And castles are very, very costly, although does have 15 villagers on stone. Pavice being researched as well, so these guys are going to have +1/+1 armor. Now remember, it does not affect skirmishers, not that he has skirmishers, but does affect all their foot archers, including these ninja turtles with their big Pavice shields, and does include their condottieri, which I don't see any condottieri on the field of battle. Ballistics, padded archer, armor. Okay, he's seen the Genoese crossbow, and our red Pole, who by the way now also has his second castle up, is going elite skirmishers. Okay, we'll see. Genoese crossbow is not exactly the best pierce armor, starting at a base of 0. These knights are hugging them very, very closely here. Scout cavalry joining in. Oh yeah, very optimistic lumber camp. Oh no, this is what I mean. It becomes almost impossible to babysit every single one of your villagers. So they create gaps in defenses. They create silly little opportunities for your opponent here. First treb out for the first person to reach Imperial. ACCM still 20 seconds away. This treb will be able to do a so-so amount of damage, but not before how many villagers come. 12 villagers show up to repair. And just like ACCM wants to protect his north, the guy wants to protect his south with another King of the Hill castle. Lots of King of the Hill castles on this map so far. Very hilly map. No doubt some of these players, one or maybe both, wish they spawned Tatars if it's random. My goodness, what is this? 4 trebuchets from multiple angles. Where are you going? You are going to your death here. 18 Genoese crossbow, light cav upgrade, chemistry being researched, bracer done. Let's see if this castle can survive, and if it can survive, how much HP it's going to survive with. Both players investing very much in their ranged units. Arbalest, thumb ring. Does he have a single crossbow on the map that he's researching Arbalest? No, he does not. What he does have is 600 gold, husbandry, chain barding armor, chemistry. So movement speed of the cavalry will be increased. Their toughness, their tankiness will be increased. I want you guys to see, if you haven't seen, by the way, Genoese crossbows take on cavalry, it is it's like watching Kamayuks take on cavalry. It's absolutely bonkers how quickly. Look at this. They're one-shotting these knights. One-shotting these knights. Absolute disgusting. Plus their rate of fire is not bad at all. I think it's a 2. Yes, it's a 2 compared to the elite skirmisher of 3. And there you have it. If you haven't seen it before, there is your introduction. In a matter of seconds, they gunned down 17 units. A bunch of knights from here to the right of our screen. They were there before, but not sure ACCM should be taking this fight. Doesn't matter how well you trade off. You are still trading off a gold costing unit with a shitty trash resource unit. Okay, trying to distract him with these light cap, but oh man, did he have his Genoese crossbow count reset basically to 9. And this is what I'm talking about, where our red pole, I'm gonna zoom out, can produce knights out of 3 stables, archers out of 6 archery ranges. Our Italian is stuck on 1 castle. So that is both the good and the bad of having unique units that are like this. Oh, what just research? Sanctity. Okay, so where are his monks? They're going to have a bit more HP. He's got 5 monks. Where are they, by the way? There they are. Let's see. Our Italian now has bombard cannons out. 4 of them. 4 more in the production tab. These range units have to be careful not to clump. Beautiful scatter positioning on them. But again, even the slightest clump will get punished by these bombard cannons. And now I think ACCM should focus down these trebs as opposed to these skirmishers and arbalests. He's got 4 bombard cannons. His opponent has 1. Man, DogAO is just throwing the kitchen sink at his opponent, finally getting iron casting for his melee units. But these cavalry from our Italian are fully upgraded in terms of armor. But yes, the retreat. I wonder if he shelled away at the foot archers a little bit too long and left these trebs up. I mean, these trebs are very clumped. That being said, there's nothing here for red to defend against these bombard cannons, and they have the high ground. 3 shots usually required. So 1 treb goes down. He's shelling the ground. He gets 1 bombard cannon, gets a 2nd bombard cannon. Oh my god, this is like a scene out of the Napoleonic Wars. Cannonballs flying everywhere. High ground, low ground, hills. This is the Battle of Waterloo over here. And this is what I was talking about. These guys are clumped. Very easy for these bombard cannons to just do what they do. At the same time, another body with 6 kills on them. Another body of light cav, I meant to say, is moving in. And the ACCM not paying attention here, not ringing the bell, not moving his villagers in. Finally does. Oh my god, does end up losing. I think I saw 7 villagers there while at the same time disengaging from here. We'll see if he eventually upgrades these to hussars. And now ACCM knows what's up, so immediately garrisons the villagers. So not a bad little raid there by DogAO, but it didn't do enough. Despite the fact that, take a look at the villager kills, 22-4. Oh, he is not stopping. DogAO with a strategy that seems to be very much kill civilians. Oh, that big shield on your back is not going to help you when a giant massive cannonball runs right into you. 8 more light cav on the field, but what is this? I thought it was going to be a side swipe by our blue Italian, but no, it's just a stretch of villagers here. 3 go west, 2 go north, 1 goes somewhere, another just hangs out to kill this 1 villager. Wide berth being given here by DogAO. Does not really want to enter the town center radius, but has no real choice. Needs to engage these light cav with the town center yesterday. Oh, he's not paying attention again. Finally, okay, is paying attention. And so the next raid, although it accomplishing little, has accomplished enough. 22 kills has become 26. 47 villagers on food for our red pole. So he can continue doing this for days if he wanted to. The problem for him is if he does, he's going to be weaker in the front. However, it doesn't look like ACCM is planning on putting any kind of aggression here at all. 2 bombard cannons left out of the 8 that he made. 2 bombard cannons for his opponent. A treb being researched. And DogAO is population capped at 200 ACCM. Barely at over 170. Another raid. 7 villagers killed in the last one. 29 deaths right now. We'll keep an eye out on those and see how many. Oh yeah, he wants a shorter attack distance, does DogAO. Okay, and we've got a bit of a mining colony situation happening. Oh, these guys are much more effective than their predecessors. Already has 4 kills. Looks like 5 kills. And now he's raiding to the north as well. ACCM looked like he had the momentum there once he got rid of those trebs, but DogAO just running circles around and block printing as well. There we go. Winged Hussar upgrade for our red pole. Lectic Legacy. Remember, that's going to give these guys trample damage. Oh, mama. They are going to be absolutely crazy at killing villagers. 29 was 41. So he managed to get 12 villager kills here with these light cav. 8 more, 9 more as they escape. Oh my goodness. And now they're winged hussars, one of the most beautiful units in the game. Why did ACCM quit putting on the pressure? Why did he give DogAO all this room to maneuver? Okay, his Treb finally does go down. No more Trebs for DogAO. Can't really produce anymore because his supply is queued up. About 25 supply is queued up, but what a cocky castle here by our red pole, who now moves in. 0 kills on these guys, 51 eco kills at the moment. Let's keep an eye on that number, see how many kills they get. And remember, they do get a bigger attack boost against monks, 14, a small attack boost against gunpowders, and a +1 against archers. So what an absolutely fascinating dynamic of a game. So many different directions this can go. So many different counters of counters of counters. This bonus negates that bonus, negates a million other things. But these guys should be enough to one-shot these winged hussars. 51 has become 61 kills, so 10 more kills added. Oh man, our red pole just running circles. Although in 27 seconds, our Italian's going to have hussars as well. And again, how do you respond to these 14 Genoese crossbows? Are they elite yet? They are not elite. They are just wrecking all of the cavalry, but a few good, a few well-placed bombard shots. And again, knocked down to 1 castle. Again, going to have to produce Genoese. Oh. Yeah, I think he just realizes he's getting swamped. 61 villager kills to 4. And look at the DogAO, by the way. Castle to the north. Another castle, another castle, another castle, and another castle. In case this wasn't enough castles for you, this is literally a Maginot line. Take a look at this. Splitting the map in half with these juicy, tanky castles of his. Did he research Schlachter? Did I miss it? If you can see, I mean, he hits castle here. His opponent hits castle, bloodlines, husbandry, light cav. Oh, I wonder if there's a better way than looking at it just like this. It doesn't look like he researched Schlachter. And not surprising, his knight count is 1. Okay, so he decided, you know what? My opponent thinks I'm going to go heavy cavalry. He's going to invest a lot of gold into the Genoese crossbows. They move at a 0.96. Whereas my winged hussars fly at a 1.65. Endless amounts of rating here. Surprised that ACCM didn't plug up the hole that existed until it looks like now. 61 villager kills. I mean, he still has 123. He's got barely any gold. And again, the weakness of having a unique unit that counters a lot of your opponent's army, but has to be built out of a castle. And so now he can produce, what, 1 Genoese crossbow at a time, while his opponent produces how many? I'm going to zoom out. 10 stables, 59 villagers on food, literally 1 production cycle worth of winged hussars can pop out in seconds against the 1 castle that's producing Genoese crossbows. Aside from that, what is ACCM's production like? Okay, 7 stables is not terrible. 800 food is not bad. How many villagers did he have on food right before he died? Actually, basically the same count. And he resigned right as he got Hussar as well. I'm surprised by that. Yeah, although actually not too surprising. 3 Trebs, 4 bombard cannons on the way. He's got literally nothing to stand against these super far-reaching ranged units. I mean, how the hell is he going to engage into this? If he moves forward with the Genoese crossbows, these guys are going to absolutely shred them to pieces, even on a even in a 1-to-2 ratio. 2 skirmishers for every Genoese crossbow. Red still comes out on top. Luckily, this Hussar spawns. Luckily for him, the game is over. He doesn't get to die. But wow, what a beautiful game out of both players, really fighting over these pieces of land. ACCM with the better unit. The quality goes to ACCM. Quantity, though, goes to our red pole. 50 army supply to 19, 200 population to 140. And not just because of villagers. Up until recently, he was keeping count, or rather keeping up with DogAO in terms of villager production. I also don't think 18 villagers at the end of the game is that big of a difference as it is earlier on in the game. The problem, ceded control of this gold, ceded control of this gold, and not all the wolves in the world are going to protect ACCM against the red Polish horde of winged hussars. Like I said, one of the prettiest units in the game. And again, take a look at those upgraded attack bonuses, 14 and 4. And remember, Polish get +1 against these archer units. Not that I think it matters. I think these guys can snipe these hussars before they even make it. Look at their HP. This one's already dead. I can't even click on him because he's dead. What an absolute fun game here. I was hoping we'd get to see Genoese crossbows, but unfortunately for ACCM, no meat shield, no ability to back these guys up, and again, limited to one building producing the one unit that he needs. Lost multiple castles, was not able to dislodge red from the center of the map. And take a look at DogAO, by the way. Take a look at the expansion. Look at his map vision. Look at this. He sees everything. To the north, maybe not, but sees almost everything, whereas ACCM has no clue what's about to hit him. Will 10 winged hussars pop out from the south? Will a trebuchet appear here in the center? Will more bombard cannons pop out of this fog? Who knows? Certainly not ACCM, so he decides, you know what? A little bit too much for me to handle at the moment. Let's live to fight another day. Taps out. GG's. DogAO is victorious. Gets the W. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.